start in a supported pose today, ladies. So come out to the mats and take a couple of blocks and let's just take them underneath the thighs. If you prefer underneath the knees, that's fine too. And again, it's just that we want to feel that really grounded connection with the small of the back. And feel expansive across the back body. And then you decide where you want to take your arms. Close the eyes. And just take a moment here to connect with the breath. Quiet mind, quiet body. Take a great big breath in. And then just take a little pause at the top of the breath. Feel the fullness through the torso, through the lungs, through the belly, and then slowly exhale and everything settles to that. And really work on trying to feel this heaviness with the exhalation. So just observe the body for a few breaths, taking a pause at the top of the inhale and the top and the bottom of the exhale. Last breath here. And now just go and take a little inventory check. Check in with the muscles and the joints, just noticing how the body's feeling today. Areas where there's tension or tightness, can you send the breath there, create a little softening? And now go ahead and leave that left leg where just put that right knee to the chest. Interlace your fingers on that shin, let that knee get heavy. Let's bring some movement to the ankle. Circles. Go ahead and switch directions. Go ahead and give that ankle a break. And now float that knee a little closer to the chest. And then on the exhale, let's send it to the outside of that right shoulder. And as that knee gets heavier, can you find a bit more space for that inner thigh, the adductor? And now come on back to center. And then just take that hand, that knee, and make some circles with that knee. They could be small or large. Go ahead and switch it up. So we're just lubricating that hip socket. One more in this direction. And now back to center. And now just float that leg back down onto that mat. I'm sorry, onto that block. And notice any difference on how the right leg feels now versus the left leg. Now float that left knee to the chest. Let that knee get heavy. Interlace your fingers on that shin, bring some movement to that ankle. And switching directions. And I'll give you that ankle a break with that knee softened just a little bit more. And I'll allow that knee to float to the outside of that left shoulder. And notice how this inner thigh feels versus the other. Which one has a little bit more space, which one's a little more pliable. And as that knee gets heavier, maybe we find still just a bit more length. And now come on back to center. Left hand to that knee, let's make some circles with this knee. Always try to notice as the changes from one side versus the other. And then go ahead and switch directions. And then go ahead and let that leg float back down on the block. Please take the hands up in a T, palms face up. Press the shoulder blades into the mat a lot so you feel an expansion across the chest, some more than others. And now inhale, arms overhead, bring the palms together, press the palms together, and then on the exhale, send that thumb behind you. Big stretch. Press the thumbs into the mat, inhale, arms up, exhale, send them back to where they started in the T. We'll do that one more time. Press the shoulder blades into the mat, pardon me. Inhale, palms up, press the palms together, spread the fingers, exhale, send the thumbs back. Big stretch. So try and reach as far back as you can. And now inhale, arms up. And relax the arms. Take a big breath in on the exhale, send that right ear towards the mat. Put that ear get heavy, just press that ear into the mat. Come on back to center. Next exhale, send that left ear to the mat. Press that left ear, let it get heavy, let that shoulder get heavy. I'm just noticing the difference now on one side of the neck versus the other. But the more you press that ear in, the more it will stretch with that. And back to center. Go ahead and float those knees towards the chest. Let them get heavy. And then just take those blocks off to the side so they're not in your way. And now as the knees get melted towards the chest, take it to a little roll. And you're going to play with where those knees are as we roll from side to side. Taking that massage down the spine as we float those knees further away from the body. And of course, linger at any part of the pose that feels particularly nice. Keep it to a spot where that massage feels so delightful. Go ahead and rock there for a bit. So when we'll take that massage down the spine, and we'll take it back up again. And now come on back to center. We're going to take the toes to the mat and drop the knees to the right. Shine that hip. Left hip. I'm found my throat. Left hip to the heavens. Press down with the shoulder blades. And once again, if you like, take that left ear towards that left thumb as we peek at it. Take your gaze back to center. Float those knees back to center. And with the next exhale, send those knees off to the left. Shine that right hip point to the heavens. Press the shoulders into the mat. And now take that right ear to the mat as we gaze on that right thumb hold here. And notice if you feel the stretch in the same part. Do you feel it in through higher up through the intercostals? Is it down through the waist or maybe lower in through that hip? Maybe a little bit of everything. Come on back to center. Float those knees back to center. And now take those knees towards the torso. We're finding happy baby. So on either side of the torso, feet towards the heavens, clasping the outside of the feet or the ankles. Again, we're going to take it to a rock. We're going to start to get playful. Send that one leg away. Maybe we'll melt one knee towards the mat. Noticing how those hamstrings are feeling. And then come on back to center. Let the heels get heavy towards the sit bones, and we're going to rock from shoulder to tailbone now. We're going to do that 3 times. We're going to roll ourselves up, finding our way to a neutral tabletop position. Stacked arms, knees underneath the hips. Let's find cat-cow. Hands are really active. Inhale, finding length to the front of the body. Exhale, finding length to the back body. And if we get the hands really involved, you should be able to feel some release through the shoulder blades during cat. Let's do a few more. Last one, and then come on back to neutral table. We're going to float the shoulders past the fingers, and then take the hips and shoulders to the left, and take the hips towards the heels to the right. So we're circling. But again, hands are really active. Just making some circles with the torso here. Let's do one more in this direction. We now take a pause, switch it up. Last one in this direction. Come on back, neutral table. Take a big breath in on the exhale. Send that right leg back, left arm forward. Take a pause here to start. No weights needed. Go ahead and take that left hand down. Take those right toes down. Press the toes into the mat. And now send that heel back. Find a calf stretch here. And go ahead and release that. We'll switch it up. Next, exhale, send that left leg back. And that right arm forward. Pause here. Float that right hand down. Now send those toes to the mat. Press the toes to the mat. Send that heel back. Again, notice which calf is a little more resistant to the stretch. And release that, coming back. Inhale, right arm high. We're going to thread the needle from tabletop today. Inhale that arm up. And then on the exhale, thread it underneath the left. We're going to bring the right ear and the right shoulder onto the mat. Option one, just the fingers get pressed into the mat, or you can send that left leg back, or send that left arm up, or tuck it into that hip crease. So we're just using the left side of the body to find that twist that is so delicious this morning. Hold here. Well, nothing's better than a good twist in the morning. And release that. We're going to unravel. Come on back, find neutral table. Setting up. Inhale, left arm high. Big reach. Exhale, turn it underneath the right. Ear to the mat. And again, you decide what has to happen on the right side of the body to deliver the stretch you're looking for. But as we press that shoulder into the mat a little bit more and send the heart to the right, we should be able to find just a little bit more space. And slowly we're going to unravel one more time, coming back, neutral table. This time, ladies, if you'd like, you can take some light weights in between the hands. And then when you're ready, we'll send that right leg back. And with or without weights, the left arm goes forward. Pause here to start. And now we're going to inhale, elbow to knee. Exhale, send them away for 10. Three, two, last one, send it away, a little pause, release the hands, release the knee, let's even things out. When you're ready, that left leg goes back, right arm forward. And again, inhale, elbow or knee for 10, extend forward. Three, two, and one. Send it away. Release the hand, release the, take those weights off to the side so they're not in your way. We're gonna do 2 cat-cows. Don't be in a rush to be anywhere today. Linger in the stretch. And then back to neutral table. Now, ladies, if you'd like to take a heavier weight, we're gonna work the back body here. Same thing as we thread the needle, but we're gonna send the arm away, and then we're gonna bring that elbow above the shoulder. And again, so threading the needle with a weight this time. When you're ready, you're gonna pick your weight up and take that elbow in line with the shoulder, and now send that arm underneath the left for 10. Come on back to where we started. We keep that left side quiet. It's just the right arm that's moving. Last one. And now take that weight in between the hands. Let's switch it up. Take that left elbow in line with the shoulder, and now let's thread underneath the right for 10. Three, two, and one. Go ahead and take that weight off to the side. 2 cat-cows. Now it's great that all our weights are handy. You'll be able to choose which one you want to use for the next round. Last one here. And then walk the hands back so we're on our knees. We're going to take that right leg off to the side. Move this way so you can see better. It's in line with the hip, toes point forward. Press the sole of the foot into the mat. And then we're going to take away any weight that you want. Straight up above that right ear. We're just going to hold it here to start. So we're just building shoulder stability, little tiny circles. Switching around. So you'll get a pretty good idea if this is the right weight or if it's too heavy for you. Switch it off if it is. Your practice, your rules. Take a pause. Inhale, grow a little taller. And this time we're going to slide those left fingers down, little tiny reach. And back. Small, reach. And back. And 3. Last one, little reach. And back, come on down. And now we're just going to take the weight onto the mat, hands onto the mat, press that sole of the foot into the mat and send the hips back. Find your stretch. Welcome to take the forearms onto the mat or onto a block. And as we press that foot into the mat, we should find some really nice length to that side inner thigh. Hold here. And now release that, come on up. We're going to take that knee back where it started. Nice tall spine, and now send that left leg up. So in line with the hip if you can, sole of the foot is on the mat, toes forward. This time we're going to pick up the weight, left arm. And again, little circles. So just by holding this weight, we're really grounding down the arm into that, hips into the shoulder socket. Feeling connected. Go ahead and switch it up. And you'll notice right away which arm feels stronger, which one was the dominant arm. And pause again, right arm nice and tall alongside the leg. Inhale, go, and a little reach for 10. And if that weight feels too heavy, get rid of it. Last one. And back to center. Go ahead and take that weight down on the mat. Hands onto the mat or forearms root down through that left foot, and then send those hips back. And now slowly release that. Come on up. Once again, we're in neutral table. We're going to reach for that weight one more time. You decide which one. We're snugging it in behind the knee. We're coming into our fire hydrants and a little bit of glute work, and then we're going to get off our knees. So any weight that you feel makes sense. We're going to snug it in behind that right knee. We're going to keep the left side of the body nice and quiet. Good contact with the hands. Take that right knee out in line with the hip for 10. Four, 3, 2, and 1. Maybe take that knee back. So take the heel as high as you can. Take that knee down for a tap for 10. 2, and 1. Come on down. Taking the weight from the right knee. We're going to set it to the left. Once again, snug that knee up. And then when you're ready, take that left knee in line with the hip off to the side for 10. Right side's quiet. Two, and 1. Now take that knee straight up. Heel to heaven and tap for 10. 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead and take that weight off to the side. Ladies, we're going to make our way to child's pose. Big toes together. Knees as wide as your mat. Send those hips back. Take a breath. Extend through the spine. Soften the heart and rest the forehead. And now slowly come on up with the hips. Take those knees underneath. Walk the hands forward, curl the toes under, up go the hips for our first downward dog. Walk it out. Notice how the calves feel. How do those hamstrings feel? Take a big breath in. On the exhale, float forward, find your plank. Let's linger here for a bit. Wake up the belly, create some heat. You know, you can always take it to your knees, your forearms. And always, if the body doesn't like what we're doing, there's a modification for everything. Always stay safe. Send those hips back, walk it out. Take a big breath in, and then on the exhale, float forward, find plank. Float the hips back, paddle it out. One more time, float forward to plank. Little pause here. And now slowly chaturanga it down. So take your knees down first, if you like. Uncurl the toes. Inhale, cobra. Just take a pause here. Let those hip points get heavy into the mat. Shine the heart forward. Soften the shoulders away from the ears. And release forehead to mat. One more time, big breath in, then on the exhale, come on up, climb cobra. Maybe a little higher this time. And release. This time we're going to take it all the way up. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Yogi's choice. Exhale, send the hips back, downward dog. Walk it out. Inhale, right leg high. Exhale, knee to nose, float forward, hanging plank. Take a pause. Send it back. Right knee, left elbow, float forward. Take a pause. Send it back. Right knee, right elbow, float forward. Send it back. Inhale, knee to nose, step on through. Ladies, high crescent lunge, no weights this time. But press those left toes into the mat so that we're finding space in that left flexor. Keep that right knee tracking safe to the outside of the right foot. Send the arms up, heart up, and gaze up. Take a pause here. And I want you to focus on that left flexor and see if you can feel it softening as we root down through those toes. Last breath here, gazes forward, take hands to heart center, get ready for a twist. A little turn to the right, elbow to knee, or opposite hand to opposite shoulder, find your twist. Don't let that belly hang out. Welcome to take that left knee to the mat if you prefer a low crescent lunge. Welcome to spread your wings if you'd like. We hold. Bring the hands together. We're going to keep this twist here. We're going to tap that left knee down for 5, nice and slow. 4, 3, 2, the last one. And now turn to face the front of your mat, hands on either side of the foot, send that left knee to the mat, walk the spine to a nice tall spine. Interlace your fingers on that right thigh this time. We're still rooting down through that left knee, we're floating the hips forward. If that knee is way beyond the ankle, then just take that leg forward, but we're rooting down, we're rising up, we're finding some more space. We'll hold here for just a couple breaths, then we're gonna get into our hamstrings. And now start to float those hips back. Hands can come onto the blocks or onto the mat. Heel toe that right foot forward. Dig the heel into the mat and pull the toes towards the shins. Send that right hip straight back. Don't let it pop out. Find your hamstring stretch. Welcome to take this to Hanuman or monkey pose, which is the splits. But find that place on your mat when you just feel open. We're going to linger here with the hamstrings back. Last breath here. Go ahead and take that right knee back underneath the hip. Walk the hands forward. Up go the hips, downward dog. Just let the blood flow first. And then ladies, make your way into any transition that you like. You're welcome to stay where you are, take a little break in child's pose, or enjoy a flow. And of course, we'll meet back in downward dog whenever you're done. Always trying to notice the difference between one side of the body versus the other. And now we're going to float that left leg high. Exhale, knee to nose, float forward, hanging plank. Take a pause, send it back. Left knee, right elbow. Send it back. Left knee, left elbow. Send it back. Inhale, knee to nose. Step on through. Once again, high crescent lunge. Again, yogi's choice if you prefer low crescent lunge, but root down through those right toes. Keep that left knee safe. Gaze and heart is up. Shoulders are soft. Take a pause. And now bringing your gaze forward, we'll take hands to heart center, finding our twist. Peek to the left, knee to elbow or opposite hand to opposite shoulder. Hold here. And now once again, we'll bring that right knee down for 5, for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Take a pause. Let's hold here for 3, for 2, and 1. Take the hands to the mat. Take that right knee to the mat. And float those hips back. Heel toe that foot. Find your hamstring stretch here. The only thing you really want to avoid is allowing that left hip to pop out to the side. You want the energy going straight back. And then let everything soften. Last breath here. Once again, we're going to take that knee, underneath the hip, sticky knot. Walk the hands forward and curl the toes under. Finding your way to downward dog first. And then once again, ladies, any transition that makes you smile. And of course, we'll meet back in downward dog. Ladies, you're going to want your light weights here. We're going to inhale that right leg high. Exhale, knee to nose, a step on through, but this time we're going to come to warrior 2. So we're going to spin that back heel. So we're going to heel to heel or heel to arch stance. We're rooting down to the outside of that left foot, keeping that right knee safe, tracking to the outside of the foot, send the arms out. Gaze is forward. Start here. And now little circles with the hands. Doesn't matter which direction, take a pause and switch it up. And now turn to face the front of your mat. Little propellers here. For 1, come on back. Gaze stays straight. We're just rotating through the torso. Let's do one more. Lucky number 7, come on back, find warrior 2. And now flip that right palm and rest it on the thigh, send that left arm straight up. Coming into extended side angles. Inhale, rise a little higher into the spine. And then on the exhale, we take that left arm parallel. Big stretch. So it's a huge stretch on the left side of the body because we're rooting down through that left foot and we're reaching, hold here. And now release that, coming back, we're gonna find warrior 2. We're gonna float that left hand onto the thigh, flip that right palm once more. Almost like it's a little reach forward and then send that arm up, hold here. And take a peek at that knee. Sometimes it likes to release and do a little bit less work. And release, come on back, find warrior two, palms face down. Turn to face the front of your mat, hands on either side of the foot, step on back, transition. And when you're ready, we're going to even things out. Let's float that left foot high. Exhale, knee to nose, step on through, spin that back heel. I'm just going to switch so I get a better view on you. Same thing, root to the outside of that right foot, keep that left knee safe, send the arms straight out. Take a pause here. And now circles, doesn't matter which direction, we're going to go both ways. Keep that left knee bent. Take a pause, reverse it. A little pause here. Now turn to face the front of your mat. And back. So our gaze stays straight. We're just rotating through. Two more. Last one. Come on back, warrior two. Flip that left palm, float it onto that left thigh. Right arm comes up for a reach, and now find extended side angle hold. Go ahead and release that, find warrior two. And now flip that left palm to the heavens, right arm close to the thigh. Little reach forward, send that arm up, exalted warrior, hold here. Go ahead and release that. Turn to face the front of your mat, windmill the hands down, transition any which way you like. And we'll meet back in downward dog when you're ready. Now we're going to bend the knees generously. We're going to start to walk the feet towards the hands. Find our first forward fold at the front of the mat. Let everything go. Hands can be on the mat, on your shins, on blocks, wrapped around your legs, underneath your feet. Anything goes here. But just let that noggin get heavy. Go ahead and shake the head now. Nod the head, yes. And now give that head still a little rest, let it get heavy. Find some space in the cervical vertebrae. And now taking hands to shins or mat, inhale to a flat back, extending to the spine. Exhale, soften, fold. Inhale, rise up. Big breath in. Exhale, hands to heart center. And in, big breath in, arms go overhead. Exhale, take a bow. Inhale to a flat back. Exhale, let everything go this time. You know, yogi's choice. We're going to bring arms overhead. So you decide what makes sense as far as weights go. Probably nothing too heavy. You're going to reach for those weights if you choose to take them up this time. And we're going to drag those weights up the feet, all the way up the shin. For this tall stack spine. Roll the shoulders away from the ears. We're going to bring the arms straight up, upward salute. Hold here. Take a big breath in, and on the exhale, we're going to sit back in that imaginary chair. Utkatasana. Take a peek. You should have 10 toes. If you don't, that means your hips are too far forward. Send them back. Don't look down. If you do, your torso follows. Hold here. Just hold. Bring the hands to heart center this time. Holding the weights here. We're going to Work on some balancing here. So we're gonna keep that left foot firm. We're gonna bring that right leg up nice and slow for 5. Stay low, 4, 3, 2, and 1. A little lower because maybe we creeped up. Keep that right leg firm. Left leg comes up for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. A little lower. Send the arms straight up. Hold here. Go ahead, forward fold. Let everything go. Slowly stack the spine, come on up 1 vertebrae at a time. One more time, bring the arms up, upward salute. Settle the shoulders down the back. Find your drishti for balance. And then on the exhale, send those hips back. Uttanasana, chair pose, hold here. Try to keep that spine long. Try not to bend at the waist. Root through the heels, come all the way up, bring the arms down. Take the arms to the thighs, slowly fold. Let the weights go off to the side. Let everything get long here. And once again, slowly come on up, stack the spine. These are going to come into Malasana. So if you know you have tight hips, we're going to take the toes towards the edges of the mat. If not, you can go ahead and leave your toes in line with the hips. So we're coming into a squat. And if your hips are really tight, take your feet a little wider than your hips. Hands are at heart center. Big breath in, then on the exhale, float the hips down. And if you can, we take the shoulders in between the knees. So the knees are pushing into the shoulders are resisting. Feet are grounded, down the spine is stacked. If you'd like, you can always take a block or 2 underneath the sit bones to relieve some of the pressure on the knees, if that makes sense for you. But let's just hold here. Squeezing in with the knees, resisting with the shoulders. Let's hold for 5. Squeeze. We're going to release that just halfway. Hold here. For 5, 4, 3. Remotely look like Uttanasana. 2. Come on down. Once again. Find your squat. Hold here. Squeeze in with the shoulders. Resist. Come on up halfway. Hold here. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2. Come all the way up with those legs. These are going to come into some balancing work again, but we're going to get into the quadricep a little bit more. So we're going to root down through that left leg. We're going to start to send that right heel towards the buttock. So we need to be balanced on the left side because we're coming into a 1-leg stance. Heel comes up. If that's too far for you to reach for that foot, take your strap, make a little lasso, and then you can always just lasso the foot and have that strap over your shoulder. So the goal is to keep the knee in line with the hip and take the heel to the buttocks. So we're getting a nice stretch in the quadricep. Drive that knee isometrically towards the mat. Soften the heel towards the buttocks. Keep the spine tall. If you want to get into the front of that right hip flexor again, simply start to send that knee in behind the hip. But don't arch the back. Keep the back nice and tall. And you'll notice that we're not only getting to the quadricep here, we're getting to that hip flexor. Keep the knees close to the body. Don't let it splay away. Let's hold here. And release that. So we're going to end with a little bit of hip work here because that's a lot of tension through the back. So we want to release that. Root down through that right leg. When you're ready, go ahead and start to send that left heel towards the buttock, with or without your strap. Keep that knee nice and tight. Drive the energy down the quadricep to the knee. And again, an option to take that knee behind the hip if you want a little bit more. But no arching in the back. Core is engaged, spine is tall. And now go ahead and release that. Let's give those legs a bit of a wiggle. Inhale, bring the arms overhead. Exhale, take a bow. Bend the knees as much as you need to. Take the hands to the mat. We're going to walk the hands forward and the feet back, climbing downward dog. Pedal it out. Ladies, we're going to come down onto our forearms. So take the elbows underneath the shoulders and clasp the hands. Find your way to a low plank here. So wiggle those feet back. Try and keep the heels stacked above the toes and the forehead, at least towards the knuckles, maybe even the nose or towards the chin. Feel the core engaged. Take the navel up towards the spine and back. And now bring those knees together. We're going to bring those knees down for a tap for 10, 9, 3, 2, and 1. Hold here. Let's roll on the outside of that right foot. Now, ladies, you have the option, if you like, to take some weights. You don't need to. Keep that elbow nice and keep the elbow underneath the shoulders. Keep those hips high. If you want a little bit more, we just hold those weights. That's it. We're going to add into this. We're going to float that leg up, send that arm straight up, elbow underneath for 5, 4, 3. You can avoid it if you don't like it. Last one. Pause. Let's roll to a front plank. You know where we're going this time. Hold here. So make any adjustments. Keep the body safe. And then when you're ready, roll the outside of that left foot. With or without your weights, we hold here, keep the hip high. If you want a little bit more, float that right leg up, elbow and knee for 5, extend. It's balance, 3. Last one. Once again, come on back, find low plank, hold here, just hold, ladies. Bring the knees to the mat, legs are still together. Send the hips back. Uncurl the toes. Sit bones to heels, forehead to mat or onto a block, arms behind you, palms up, shell pose. Just let everything settle. Let the head and the tailbone get heavy. Let's create some space through the vertebrae. And we're going to start to pull the heart away from the thighs. We're going to walk the hands forward. Don't worry, we're nothing crazy. Curl the toes under, upload the hips for downward dog, just so that we can set up for pigeon pose, ladies. Float the right leg high. Exhale, knee towards the nose, and send that right knee towards the corner of the mat. Now, if that leg is not parallel to the short edge of the mat, those toes are long and pointed. Don't let that right sit bone get lazy. So this is not a nice plank, a nice pigeon. You want those hips nice and square. You want that, and you want them level, and then you start to soften the heart either onto the mat or onto blocks. If your hips are a little bit more open and that shin is in fact parallel to the short edge of the mat, then you can pull the toes towards the shin. And that those toes just keep them safe, the knee safe. So we're coming to that pose that feels nice, and I'm going to time us on both sides, and we're going to get ready to slow everything down now. The pigeon's a pose that you want to hold for at least a minute, because at that point you start to find the muscle fibers really starting to relax. And if you do any activities, any cycling, any hiking, walking, skiing, running, all of that stuff, any of the sports that you're playing, we tend to have really tight hips. And if our hips get really tight, then they mess around with our lower back. So always a great idea to do a little bit of hip stretching every day. especially as we age. Let's see how Chuck Miller go one way. We're almost there. Last breath here. And then we're going to start to pull the heart away and take the hands to the mat. And then just send that leg back, downward dog, and just pedal out the feet. Notice how the right leg feels versus the left leg. Now let's even things out. Float that left leg high. Exhale, knee towards the nose, send the knee towards the mat. You decide where that shin goes. You decide where those knees go to keep that safe. Keep those hips nice and square. Don't let it get lazy. And then we're going to send the energy forward and then soften towards the mat. And you'll know very quickly which hip is the more receptive one. And linger. These last breath here, once again, we're going to pull the heart away from the mat, hands to the mat, and then send that leg back. It's going to do a lazy switch, but I think it's just so much nicer just to extend the legs fully again. Pedal up the feet. Are the legs starting to feel a bit more the same now? Last pedal each side. And now just go ahead and float those knees down to the mat. And we're going to make our way onto our sit bones. Ladies, we're just going to take the spine of the mat so you know the drill. If you want a little more challenge, legs extended. If you want a little bit less challenge, just take the spine of the mat. And then you get all the way down onto the mat. Take the knees towards the chest. Come into happy baby one more time. Knees on either side of the torso, feet to the heavens, get a clasp image. The shins or the feet, take it to a roll to start. And now start to extend through one leg, sending one knee towards the mat, the other. And now back to center. Ladies, bring those legs together, send them straight up. This is really important that you keep your gaze straight to the heavens, so don't look at your screen at all. Arms are alongside the body. We're coming into a modified plow here. So if you know this bothers your neck, please don't do it. If you're good, it just feels nice to get the legs heavy. So we're just going to start to let those legs get heavier and heavier. And as we do, the tailbone lifts and the toes start to float in behind the head. You can support the small of the back. And the toes don't have to go all the way. They can just be in a nice little L curve right here. That's fine. But if you want more, toes to mat. If you still want more, knees alongside the ears. But you should feel a nice release through the back. We're just going to linger here for a couple of breaths. If you're in any discomfort at all, come out immediately. So plow is a little more forgiving. We're not putting all our weight on our shoulders. I don't typically teach shoulder pose only because it's hard to teach it safely on screen. Last breath here. And you'll slowly go ahead and take the spine back down onto the mat. Leave the legs straight up to start. Above the hips, point the toes, little circles. Arms alongside the body, just some tiny circles, ending with a little massage into the sacrum. And now go ahead and switch that up. Say it in the other direction. And now coming back to center, just allow the legs to get heavy. You can separate them if you'd like. You can keep them together, personal preference, but keep them just stacked. Take the arms alongside the body, close the eyes. And just let the blood flow down through the legs, giving the heart a little rest. And if we sit here grounded through the sacrum, I'm going to ask you to take a little walk through the body one more time, checking in with muscles and joints, checking in with your energy level and head space, and noticing any difference from when you first came into class today. And if you've decided how you'd like to spend your final Shavasana, I invite you to come into that pose now. So don't be afraid to call on your blocks and your props, blankets, anything you have close by that's going to make the experience more comfortable for you. And quiet everything down once again, reconnect with the breath. Noticing the fullness into the lungs and the belly with each inhalation, a little pause again at the top of the inhale, and then slowly exhale. And once again, a little pause at the end of the exhale, and see if you can use that time in your exhalation to melt just a little deeper into your mats. Maybe those eyes melt a little deeper into their sockets and settle in. Ladies, we are slowly, kindly, gently start to bring some awareness back to the body. Any movement that feels good is welcomed. I'm going to start with the extremities, wrists, ankles, fingers, toes, maybe a great big full body stretch. Torso or roll to one side. In your own time, when you're ready, we'll eventually make our way to a comfortable seated position. Stack spine, hands at heart center, a bow to the heart in gratitude, as always, that we're well enough to make it to a max. We have the initiative to do so before each other. I honor the